It's time for Comic Corner. This week was actually quite small. I only picked up 2 comics. One was issue number 4 of G.I. Joe Special Missions. Yeah, this is the new G.I. Joe, guys. It's completely different stories and stuff, and it's weird. With the new stuff, they're going more with a real-life terrorist. Yeah, Cobra's there, but it's not like in the 80s where Cobra, was driving around with his tanks and stuff, and G.I. Joe was fighting them with their whatever, And, no, it's more, a lot of more, I guess, realistic, trying to make it fit with the times rather than the big combat, U.S. versus Russia, which they were trying to emulate big superpowers, and so you had G.I. Joe and Cobra, and now it's all more about terrorism and the small guy and the sleeper cells and all that kind of stuff. So there's a lot of that going on with the new G.I. Joe stories, which is fine. I mean, it's cool and such, but it's not quite the G.I. Joe I remember. So it takes a little bit getting used to, especially considering these stories, which are not a continuation of the old stuff, but new stories based off of the property of G.I. Joe. So there's new characters and all sorts of stuff going on, and it's a little different. It takes a little bit getting used to, but it's still G.I. Joe, so I still check it out. The other comic I picked up was number 9 of Night of the Living Dead Aftermath, which this is starting to get into almost like from the movie Day of the Dead. It's very much kind of focused on that type of a storyline. But hey, I'm not jumping on the zombie bandwagon. I've always loved the zombies, so yeah, gotta get me some Night of the Living Dead. In fact, you'll find a good portion of my comic book purchases are more in the horror range rather than the standard superhero range. And I used to get a lot of mutant comics, which was my superhero portion. When I was younger, I collected Iron Man for a little while, but I got out of that. It wasn't really my thing. I got into G.I. Joe, and I just couldn't afford to buy everything. So yeah, it's one of those things. If you had the money, sure, I'd buy everything. Why not? I don't know where the heck I'd put it all. But it's one of those things. I've never really been into the superhero. Definitely not the DC. I was never into the DC stuff. DC for me worked on a cartoon. At cartoon level, it works really, really well. I like some of the movies, but not others. But yeah, I always liked it as a cartoon, and I still like it as a cartoon. But I'm not big into their them as a comic book. Marvel, on the other hand, I prefer as a comic book rather than a cartoon. Though they do, they could transfer well to movies if the movies stuck to the comic book storylines, which are much better than anything anybody's put on screen. So, yeah, but I'm starting to ramble and getting off topic here. Well, that's what happens when you only buy 2 books. 2 books. Can't talk about much of anything else. So let me know what you got. Put a link down below, or in the doobly-doo, as we like to say, and let me know what you picked up this week. And yeah, are you into horror comics at all? Let me know, because that's going to be a huge part of my focus in terms of what I pick up and what I talk about. But as you can see, I will ramble on. I will talk about the comic book stuff. I did see Superman, or Man of Steel if you like. I'll leave it at that. So, catch you later.